Hello friends, it's Friday, May 14th, and coming to you with another video message here today. My little spot in front of the Brooklyn Bridge picture here at Three Rivers Christian has apparently been taken over by someone else who's in there every week now. So I'm coming to you from my little office here. So again, I hope the echo isn't too bad and everyone can hear me fine. But yeah, I just wanted to send a message out today. Again, beautiful day. Looks like just a beautiful weekend and warmer weather and being able to be outside and all that just feels so good. And I think just, I don't know about you, but for me, I just feel more alive when I can be out, and I love this time of year and the flowers starting to bloom and all those kinds of things and just a new life. I've been talking about that a lot lately, I know, but it just really fills me up. And I've got a nice day with mowing my lawn and all that this weekend too. So, but I love that stuff. I tend to do my best thinking when I'm pushing a mower. So don't know what your best thinking spot is, but for me that tends to be the case. So I look forward to that. And kids sports, we're down to the last couple weekends here of those and running kind of ragged. I think especially after a year off, I don't know about all of you, but I feel like, after you've kind of haven't been doing things for a year and you get out of rhythms and then you're getting back into them, everything just feels a little more hectic, a little more crazy this year. But yeah, looking forward to wrapping those up and having some downtime this summer. So anyway, I just wanted to share just a thought today about a couple verses of scripture. I told you before that I often look up the daily verse on my Bible app, and I try to do that each day. There are days I forget, but trying to get more into that practice. And sometimes I post them on our church Facebook page. But the one that came up today is one that I really am not super familiar with, mainly because it's from a book in the Old Testament, one of the minor prophets, Habakkuk, which probably most of us aren't super familiar with. It's towards the very end of the Old Testament. You get all those really short minor prophets, and the book of Habakkuk is 3 chapters long. So it's a short one. It's easy to kind of skip right by. If you accidentally grab a few pages, you're right through it. But what a beautiful ending it has to the book. Habakkuk 3 verses 17 through 19, in my Bible, have a little heading of Habakkuk rejoices in the Lord. And these verses are just so powerful about rejoicing in the Lord when things are tough, when things aren't going your way. And I just thought, man, maybe that's something we all need to be reminded of today. So here's what it says. Habakkuk 3, 17 through 19 says this: Though the fig tree should not blossom, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. Pretty ominous picture here that's painting, right? Then verse 18, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. I love that. And then verse 19, wrapping it up, says, God, the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes the deer's feet. He makes me tread on my high places. And that's how it ends. So, but I love that whole idea of talking about, again, in this context, think about those things. The fig tree not blossoming. There's no fruit on the vines. There's no produce. The produce of the olive fails. The fields yield no food. The flock is cut off from the fold. There's no herd in the stalls. I mean, this is talking about famine language. This is talking just about absolute lack and such great need. Imagine just the desperation people would have been feeling. But then there's that in spite of it, that yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. So, man, what a good word for us today, but what a hard word to put into practice, right? That's one of those where we read that and we think, kind of when we're in a time of maybe if we're not going through those things, we think, wow, what a great word, what an encouraging word. But then what about when we experience stuff like that? Okay, now maybe different to an extent, but think about this year for everybody and all the challenges we've faced. And for so many, the needs that have come up with people losing jobs. Okay, that's been a huge one as people have been literally trying to navigate uh, life, right? Paying bills and putting food on the table and all those basic necessities of life. So, very real. Think about all the death that we've experienced globally, but also here in our country, and not just those who experienced death, but also um, just from the virus and the effects of it, and a lot of the long-lasting effects of it that people have told about, where there's kind of the long haulers, they call them, right? People who are still experiencing the effects of that and can't get back on their feet. And there's just, you think about it's been a year, and then all the other pieces with on mental health, the drain and the toll that this year has taken on that. Then you just think of all the other things that have also been piling on with the racial unrest, with the political divisiveness, with just everything, right? There's a lot. And so in a way, we can relate to this passage, right? Feeling kind of like, man, it's been one of those years. And then pile on top of that anything else you might be dealing with personally, maybe health issues for yourself or for a loved one that are unrelated to COVID, maybe just that you're dealing with, or strife within families, or just whatever else might be going on in your life that kind of compounds all of this. And in all that, here's the word for us, that we are to rejoice in the Lord and take joy in the God of our salvation. That's hard. That's hard to do. Okay. And I acknowledge that. And I think we need to acknowledge that it's, I've seen that bumper sticker. The Bible says it. I believe it. That settles it. True. That's a true statement, I would say. And yet it's never really just that simple. Okay. Because there's like a word like this. I believe this. But it's hard. That doesn't make it an easy word to kind of grab hold of and to live out. And so I lift it up today as an encouragement to say, think through that. Think through that we don't just praise and worship God and rejoice in Him when life is good, when things are sweet, when we're kind of living in the abundance of God. We also are called to do it in those difficult times. And that's really hard, but I think when we can do that, that's what sees us through those times, okay? Because again, in spite of everything that might be going on right now, that last part, taking joy in the God of my salvation, right? Man, we can give God thanks for that every day. The fact that we are saved, that we have that promise of our salvation through Jesus Christ, that nothing can take that away, no matter what happens in this life, no matter what we go through, nothing can take that away from us. And so, and ultimately, that's the greatest treasure we have, right? And so I think that's such an important reminder for us. And if we focus on that, then I think we can rejoice in the midst of trials, in the midst of difficult times, in the midst of seasons of lacking, maybe, that we can still rejoice knowing that our salvation is guaranteed, that we can cling to that. But again, we always want to do that for ourselves. We always want to recognize too that that should be our desire for everybody, to have that joy in their salvation through Jesus Christ. And so you don't have to look hard to see people are struggling right now. People are going through a lot. And again, that's the message of hope that we have as Christians, is to let them know that there's a God, the God who created everything, loves them, knows them by name, that Jesus died for them, to forgive them all their sin, and wants them to walk in newness of life. And that it's a free gift that's been extended to all of us. All we have to do is receive it. And And so that's a pretty amazing gift we have to give. And so again, I just want to encourage you today to, no matter what you're going through, no matter how kind of beat down and weary you feel, hopefully a day like today rejuvenates you a bit like it does for me. But no matter what you're going through, just I want to encourage you with that verse 18 to rejoice in the Lord, to take joy in the God of your salvation. Uh, what a great thing we have to rejoice in each and every day. But then again, try to see how are those ways that I can share that joy with others. That I can not just hold it for myself, but that I can really share it and let other people have that too, so they can get through difficult times as well. So I hope that encourages you today. Again, maybe spend some time reading through Habakkuk. Well, maybe we don't read much, but we should. And what a great ending it has there. So I encourage you today, friends. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. And like I say, as always, look forward to either seeing you church on Sunday or connecting through the live stream. I'm excited to preach this weekend. I'm going to be talking kind of about some of this stuff about persistence in prayer, Jesus and the Canaanite woman, count in Matthew 15 and Mark 7, but I'll be focusing on the Matthew 15 account. So I'm excited to preach on that, and I hope I hope you're encouraged by my sermon as well on Sunday. So God bless you, friends. Look forward to seeing you soon.